I was kind of pressured into doing stand-up from my sister. The reason being is this is for my mom. She passed away 15 years ago. And they asked if I would do a stand-up show in remembrance of her 15 years later at the bar. I originally didn't want to, but here we go. The story I'm going to tell you tonight is about growing up being poor. Anybody else out here poor growing up? Anybody? Yes. So, for those of you that raised your hand, this is just going to be a recap of how it was for us growing up poor. We grew up poor-ish. So, we were never homeless, but there were plenty of nights where we didn't have a lot of food in the house. So, like a lot of times for dinner, we had sleep. We had sleep for dinner, which was awesome, right? Sleep for dinner is the best. No, but we had stuff in our cupboards. They just weren't every ingredient that we needed. Like, there was a time where we had Kool-Aid, but we didn't have sugar, and we decided to make it anyways. And no, not the same. And then there was another time where we had sugar, but we did not have Kool-Aid. We did have food coloring. And it doesn't matter how much food coloring you put in, still not the same. So, yeah, the food coloring was disgusting, actually. But what was great is we had a neighbor we lived in an apartment complex, and we had a neighbor who, coincidentally enough, she was very poor as well. Her and my mom were great friends, but she had a lot of the missing ingredients that we needed. So one night, for example, my mom, she goes, hey, go over to Lisa's house and see if she's got 2 cups of milk so you and your sister can have breakfast in the morning. I was like, oh, we'll tell her I'm coming, I guess, whatever. I grab the measuring cup, and I go next door, and I'm like, Lisa, my mom wants to know if we could borrow 2 cups of milk so Fallon and I could have some breakfast tomorrow. And if you don't have 2 cups, do you just have 1 cup so I can have breakfast tomorrow? I was a dick. I was an absolute jerk to my sister. And it didn't stop at groceries. Like, I went over to her house one time holding the scooper for Tide, the laundry detergent. Lisa, do you have some Tide that I can borrow for my clothes and 75 cents so I can go to the coin op? Yeah, whatever. So she was great. Lisa was awesome. One time in particular that sticks out the most is the science fair at school. Now, growing up in school and being poor is not cool. Not cool at all. This teacher gives us all these lists that we could do for projects for the science fair, and I handed it back to her. I was like, you might as well just fail me, because I can't do any of this. It's not that I don't want to, I can't. We can't afford any of this stuff. She made me do it anyway. She's like, you could find something on that list to do. So I was like, fuck, I took it home. I picked making Play-Doh. I was like, Play-Doh? That's fine. Flour, salt, water. No problem. I go home, I'm like, Mom, I gotta make this Play-Doh for school. It's for the science fair, and, I need this. And she's looking at it, and she's like, go over to Lisa's and see if she's got some flour. So we have salt. See if she's got some salt. So I get all the ingredients, I make the Play-Doh, put it together for science fair. I take it to school the next day. I am proud because I have got something. Normally it's a cup of dirt. So I bring this Play-Doh in, and I'm like, oh my God, this is gonna be great. Every other kid picked Play-Doh, and these kids were rich. So they had better Play-Doh. There was red, and there was green, and there was blue. I had plain-ass white. You wanna know why I had white? Because my sister and I drank the food coloring in our fucking Kool-Aid. So we couldn't do any of the colors. So, moving forward in life, now I'm in high school. My sister is in junior high. And we learn very quickly how rude kids can be in school. Like, growing up, it is not cool to be on welfare at all. Like, you can't be proud of that. You can't go to school and they're like, hey, where'd you get those shoes? Welfare. Oh, what about that shirt? Welfare again. It just doesn't work. And they start giving you advice. They give you advice. They're like, oh, you should get a job. Stay in school. You should get a vasectomy. Yeah. It's rough. It's rough advice. So, food stamps is what the answer is, right? Food stamps. Now, we have food stamps, and they weren't like they are now. Now they're in a discreet little credit card where you can go up to the cashier and just boop, and nobody knows a thing, right? How were they when we were younger? They were in a book that you tore out. Like, I couldn't even stand next to my mom at the cash register because I didn't want everybody to know that I was poor. So my mom's standing there and she rips out this, she's proud, she doesn't care. She's like, we've got food. And she pulls out this big old thing of food stamps. I'm like, I'm gone, I'm out of here, I'm out. My mom's like, Gary! I was like, I don't know you, I don't know you, I don't know you. Because they didn't just take the food stamps and put them in the register, did they? They flipped them out all along the way. And they took out this big stamper, and they're like, punk chick, on all of them. And that is so that if anybody in the store didn't know that you were poor, they could follow that sound, be like, what's that sound? And come up and be like, oh, there's some poor people, point and laugh, everybody. So, right, that was the food stamps. There comes the day where my mom is not feeling great, and she sends me to the store by myself with food stamps. So, she sends me with $40 in food stamps, and back then $40 actually got you quite a bit of groceries, yeah? So I go through and I'm excited, I get this all done, and now comes the time for the checkout. I'm dreading it. Like, I pull up to the checkout line, I'm like, oh my God. A guy comes up, and I was like, you could go ahead of me, just go. And he's like, but I got like 8 cards. I was like, it's cool, I just like to stand here. So, I did not want people to see what I was doing. Anyhow, it's my turn. I start putting the groceries up on the checkout line, and the cashiers are boop, boop, just going. Guy comes up behind me in line, I'm like, he's just standing there, staring right at me, whatever. Another person comes up behind him, and this is the thing that I'll never forget. This was a girl from school that stood behind him. And it wasn't just any girl, it was the fucking hot girl in school about to watch me kill myself for giving this guy food stamps. I couldn't do it. I panicked. I was like, oh my God. And the guy's just fucking beeping away. We're almost done. I'm like, oh my God. My mom, I gotta go get this object. Like, she's gonna freak if I forget this. I gotta go and grab something. Just keep going. And the guy's like, yeah, go ahead. I run back into the aisles. I'm like, I can't do this. I fucking left the store. I went home without any of the groceries. I get inside, my mom's like, where the fuck's the groceries? I'm like, I'm going to fucking Lisa's to get some milk and eggs. What else do we need? I couldn't handle it. So I decided I've got 3 girls now at home, 3 children, and they were not going to be raised the way that I was raised. And so now we provide a lot more for them. I don't want to use the word spoiled because that would describe them perfectly. But 2 of my daughters are old enough to where they have phones and iPads, and everything's great until it comes time for bed. And they're using their phones and their iPads, and they stay up way too late watching these videos. And as a result, they don't want to wake up in the morning. So it pisses me off. They're crabby. We have 3 girls plus my girlfriend. Mornings for me are a crisis. So I decide I'm going to take your phones and iPads away at night. You guys aren't going to be able to do it. And they're pissed. So I take them away and I put them in my room. They go to bed. We wake up the next morning. Everything's great. I'm like, perfect. I'm going to start doing this. I was like, that was great. I'm going to take your iPads away this time. The next day, they weren't so angry with giving them to me. It was weird. They just handed them over, and they're like, whatever. Those little assholes set alarms on every one of those things to go off at different times during the night. And I love how smart they are. I love my girls because I hate prison. That's all the time I got for tonight. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Chaz, thank you so much.
Hey, let's hear it for Gary Busby.
Thank you,
Yay, 4 people.
Yeah, 4 people. For the record, that was my very first time ever doing stand-up. Thank you. I will use this material at my mom's remembrance. I don't know what you want to call it. Thank you so much. Did everybody grab shots?